Happy Monday, brothers and sisters, kings and queens, family and friends. This is another beautiful day that the Lord has created. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. Let's continue to love one another, pray for one another, encourage one another, uplift one another, especially during these wicked and trying times. Reach out to someone today and tell them that you love them, because you never know, tomorrow is not promised. The wise man Solomon says this in Proverbs chapter 23, verses 7. For is he thinking in his heart, so is he. And some the NIV verse says, as a man thinking in his heart, so is he. What are you saying, wise man Solomon? We don't think with the heart that pumps blood, the little heart that's in your chest. We don't think with that. We think with the mind. What are you saying? What Solomon is telling us, whatever consumes our mind is going to consume our life. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Whatever's on your brain is going to eventually come out of your mouth or going to come in your action. That's why it's important for us to remember. Be careful about the things that we think on, which leads me to the topic of the day. Whatever you think on is on the brink of coming to life. Whatever you think on is on the brink of coming to life. Whatever's in that brain of yours, it's eventually going to come to life unless the Spirit steps in. You know, sometimes when we're hungry, when we're physically hungry, we say we need some brain food. Well, this morning I'm going to give us some spiritual food to help us when we're spiritually hungry, to keep our minds focused on the right things so we won't be thinking on the wrong thing. Let us go to Galatians chapter 5, beginning at verse number 22. Galatians 5:22. And we're going to get some fruits of the Spirit to help us to keep our mind focused. Galatians chapter number 5. Galatians 5:22. And Paul helps us give us some spiritual things that we can feed our spiritual body so that we can keep our mind focused on things. What are you saying to us, Paul, here? But the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith. What are you saying? Paul is saying, eat on these things every day. Focus on loving somebody. Put some joy in your life. Focus on peace. Being long-suffering with one another. Gentleness, goodness, faith. Eat these fruits every day. That'll help you think on the right thing. Let's go to verse 23. What other fruits of the Spirit do we need on? We need to eat on meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. The Lord said, listen, if you focus on these things, you can't go wrong. There's no laws against it. There's nothing that can condemn you for thinking on these things or being meek, showing meekness, temperance. Against such, there is no law. By showing love, joy, peace, long suffering, faith. When you fill your spirit up with those things, you can't go wrong. And let's wrap this thing up with what we want to keep our minds on. What we want the things. He also encourages us on things that we should think of. Let's go to Philippians chapter 4 and verses 8. Philippians 4:8. Here again, we find our brother Paul encouraging and uplifting someone. That's a hint for us that I try to encourage us to do. What are you saying here, Apostle Paul, in Philippians chapter 4 and verse 8? The Bible reads, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things of good report, there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Fill your mind with these things that are true, honest, pure, lovely, good report. Think on these things. And again, you can't go wrong. Remember, whatever you think on is on the brink of coming to life. Let's think about loving one another and saving our souls. I love you. God loves you. And have a wonderful, wonderful Monday.